After about 3 months goes by, I get a call, but it wasn't from the ICU. Guess where it was from? The psychiatric unit. They didn't even want to admit me either. Right? Surprised me. But they called me and they said, actually, we took your resume because we feel like people who have experienced in long-term care have a little more patience and understanding. And we think that we'd like for you to work with our population as a psychiatric tech while you're finishing nursing school. And that opened up a world of understanding for me. Now here I am, still struggling to get through, like with these 2 screens, and now I'm placed in a position to help people who are struggling, but maybe a little bit worse than me. And one time, there was this woman, there was a 42-year-old woman who had been admitted multiple times. And so many people judged her, and I was one of them. You know why? Because she acted crazy. You know what she would do? Sometimes she would just go from being a normal, by the way, she was a nurse too. She would go from being a normal, like capable, professional, adult woman to literally coddling in the corner, acting like a 12-year-old making faces. Everyone just thought she was crazy, and everyone judged her. But one day, I got a really good night of sleep, and I was walking around. My job was to supervise the unit, make sure everything was safe, make sure nobody was hurting each other or anyone else or themselves or whatever. And I noticed she was just sitting down. She was kind of kneeled down like this in the hallway. And she just had this really blank stare on her face. And as she was sitting there, I looked at her and I said, something in me just wants to connect with her. And so I went and sat down next to her. And instead of telling her what she needed to do, I simply asked her, hey, how are you? What's going on? And she told me about her life. She told me about how when she has those moments and she starts acting different, it's actually called a dissociative disorder, where they disconnect with reality because they can't deal with their memory, and her memory was of her biological father raping her at the age of 12. And in that moment I said, oh, there's usually a reason behind crazy behaviors. Whether they're big crazy behaviors or small crazy behaviors or just a little habit that you get used to doing because you just get used to being comfortable with that habit. And then I met her kids. I was 19 at the time, and they were 19 and 20, and they were in college at the time. And when I met them, I realized, gosh, they're a lot like me. They've had to cope a lot like me. And then it dawned on me, this woman is just like my mom. I wonder what my mom's gone through. They have the exact same behaviors. And in that moment, I realized forgiveness was about understanding. Forgiveness was about empathy. Forgiveness was about you getting out of the picture, letting go of anything that's happened to you and being able to understand where other people are coming from, because some people just aren't to the point yet where they're capable of doing that, and they need to be supported through that.